Hi, I am Kayla Logan, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit for about 10 or 15 minutes about your course syllabus. So, this is kind of like a first day information about what you see on Blackboard listed as your syllabus. So, I'm going to pull up the syllabus here, and this is ELED 7320 Foundations of Literacy. And I am um, going to, the best way to contact me really is through my U of H email. This email comes to my phone and I will respond to you within 24 hours. Okay. If it seems like something more serious, then you could use my cell phone number. This is my personal number. I give that to you so that I can be available for you. I'm happy to talk to you. And if you would like to email me or text me to set up a time for us to talk, then that would be great. Okay. This is an online class, but I want you to know that I'm a real person. I have a face. You can talk to me. We could schedule a meeting, or we could schedule, a Skype session or something like that if you would like to interact with me or have some, just kind of real questions and concerns. We do have a required text. I have selected Fundamentals of Literacy Instruction and Assessment, pre-K through 6. I selected this book for many reasons, but primarily because I like the way that it is organized. And the organization of the book is outlined in chapter 1, which you should be reading this week. And you will see that um, as we go into it, you'll see that most of the discussion board posts are based off of the chapters that I've assigned to each week of learning. There are some technology requirements for this class, and our description is that this course will examine research-based theories, foundations, and practice in reading instruction in elementary schools. I am going to add writing to that because we don't talk about writing as much as we should. So we're going to have at least 2 weeks that we talk about writing as well. I have organized this course and structured this course around the standards that have been approved by the Texas Education Agency for uh, ELAR Generalist EC through 6, which some of you are actually seeking that certification. Some of you already have it. And that for reading specialists. And I think I saw that many of you are looking at becoming reading specialists through this program. When you look at these standards, you're going to see that a lot of the standards for the generalist are just kind of basically to understand the development of the literacy development of young students, okay? Those standards are primarily going to be hit during our discussion boards and our readings. But when you get to the reading specialist standards, you're going to see that we have some more advanced verbs. You're going to apply, you're going to use expertise, you're going to model, you're going to implement, etc. And so a lot of these reading specialist standards are going to be addressed through our actual activities and projects. Course delivery method. This is online. Both you and I need to be able to do the following things in order to have a successful course. If you have questions about technology, you would be wasting your time to ask me. These people are who you need to contact if you're having trouble with Blackboard or if your computer isn't doing what you need it to do with the programs that we're using. Then if the tech people, the help desk people cannot help you, or if they say it's going to be 24 hours or it's going to start impacting your ability to complete the course, please make sure that you're keeping that documentation. So if you get an email back, if you make a phone call with the help desk, ask who you talked to, write down what time you talked to them, just so that you can kind of create a paper trail, a pseudo paper trail, to make sure that you have documentation of the problems that you're having and make me aware of the problems that you're having. This is an online course, but you are still required to attend. I call attendance having a minimum weekly online presence. So let's say that you don't do a discussion board, I don't hear from you, you don't email, you didn't do the survey. I can tell from Blackboard that you didn't even watch the video, right? So that probably would be considered an absence, okay? If you string a lot of those together or you have several of those, then I reserve the right to drop you for non-attendance in the same way that a face-to-face teacher would. So if for some reason you are not able to attend class during that week, will you please shoot me an email? You don't have to get too in detail about what's going on, but it would help me to know that you haven't just kind of dropped out. Okay, I don't need to worry about you, that you're coming back, and that I don't need to drop you or suggest that you withdraw. Engagement. In this class, you are engaging with our elementary learners. And so if you are a teacher in the classroom, then you have a lot of elementary learners. And if you're in an elementary classroom, if you're in an eighth grade classroom, you're going to need to find some elementary school students that you can work with, maybe within your school district or maybe some of your teaching friends. Um, if you are not really involved in a school right now, then you need to be. You need to have access to real, live, little, wonderful people. And I expect for you to do that in a legit way. So you might need to become a volunteer in a school district or a local school, a library, get involved in a community outreach program that works on literacy or has a literacy day, or go in there and make them have a literacy day. I get the question often, can I work with my nephew? Can I work with my daughter? And the truth of the matter is those are not ideal situations. A neighbor would be better than a nephew. And a nephew would be better than a son or daughter. And the reason for that is because we need to learn to work with other people's children. Okay. And when we work with our own children, we have a different vibe, and there's a different relationship there. So please do your best and let me know if you're struggling with this requirement. It is a requirement for the course. So you want to be getting that secured as soon as possible. Please know that I will never ask you in this course to video record or audio record the students that you're working with. And when you are talking about these students on your discussion board, then would you please use a pseudonym, and would you please omit that identifying information? If you were talking to me and telling me about your experiences at this particular school, that would be one thing, but I don't want you guys writing and using identifying information, so we can respect the privacy of the young people that we are working with. Professional attributes, I have borrowed these from the University of Houston College of Education. They are extensive and thorough, and we are going to be professionals because that's how we behave. Grading policies, don't turn stuff in late if you can help it. Incomplete grades, I hope no one needs one, because it always means that something terrible happened. Okay, so if you do need an incomplete grade, then you would need to follow the guidelines. Don't cheat. And I'm just going to leave it at don't cheat, because you guys are grad students and you know you can't take other people's work, and that everything that you do really needs to be your own. And getting on into writing policies, you also know that when you borrow other people's information, which you should quote scholars, you should quote experts, you challenge experts by, maybe using one of their quotes to refute. You need to follow the approved guidelines. So the OWL at Purdue is a resource that I personally have used a lot. They have specific guidelines for writing APA papers. You can watch it on a video. I love that, as you get more into academia, sometimes you have to cite things in different ways. This document has MLA, APA, and then if you scroll over, it's even got some other styles. So Chicago style, which helps you know how to document things. Okay, so please make sure that when you use sources that you are documenting them accordingly. We're almost done here, guys. You've been so good. Please make sure that everything, including your discussion board post, are well written, okay? And if you know that you struggle with that, you might need to get them done a little bit ahead of time and get somebody to look over them. You have access to the Writing Center that can help you. If you need accommodations, please make sure that you are going through this office and getting those accommodations to me as soon as possible so I can meet your accommodations. And if you ever need counseling or psychological services, you have access through that through the University of Houston. Here are our important dates. We're all looking forward to Thanksgiving holiday. Well, Labor Day first, right? And then Thanksgiving. And here is how your grades are going to break down for the course. Your literacy artifacts and reflections, where you pick 3, and there will probably be even more options than this. The descriptions will be coming up soon. Um, this is where you're working with those individual students or groups of students. Blackboard post, just what they sound like. I'm going to ask for you to make initial post by Friday, and I'm going to ask that you then respond to at least 2 other posts by Sunday. Okay. Extension and application projects. This is where the grad level stuff of it really comes in. I want you guys to, as you're looking at chapter 1 this week, I'd really like for you to it's an overview of the book. So I'd like for you to start thinking about a chapter of the book, a topic that you would like to delve deeper into. This might be something that you're already feeling like an expert on, but more admirably, it would be something that maybe you're not an expert on, something that you've seen in the classroom that is problematic for you, something that you have studied already twice and you still don't really feel like you have a good handle on what exactly is happening developmentally and how to address those issues in student reading or writing. This is what you would choose to do your project on. And I will be grouping you. We will be using Blackboard Collaborate. So I'm going to group you with hopefully some teachers that you have, students that you have shared interest to the best of my ability. And then I'm going to give you some leeway on how you present this information. But this is where you might link one of your assessments, for example, to your project, and then get some extended knowledge, okay, by reaching out, doing a little bit more research, and then bringing that research back to us, your group members. We are not going to have an official final, and so our final would be giving good substantive feedback to our group members over their projects, okay, so that we are continuing to learn even through the final process. Evaluation scale and reading recommendations. Notice that these are recommendations, okay? These are not, do not go out and buy all these books. Do not think that these are the only good books out there, okay? All I did was I went to my bookshelf and I pulled the books that I have used over the past, the books that I've used in classes or in my own experiences working with school districts or in the classroom. And these books, when you're extending your knowledge, this is where you might start, right? So I have selected, maybe I've selected Word Study. What did Logan recommend? Well, okay, here is Words Their Way. Oh, I've heard of that book before, right? Maybe this is one that you need to get. And, we've got books on writing. We've got books that are highly theoretical and abstract about writing. Then we have books that are really more hands-on. Gravity Goldberg's new book has some really good suggestions that can be used in the classroom. And then many of you might have also heard of Sarah Vallow. People have mixed feelings about these books, but one thing is for sure, she gives you strategies that can be used in the classroom. So these are very hands-on oriented. Okay, this next page you don't have yet, okay, but you will be receiving a course calendar. It's on its way. You're going to get the date and the reading. You will get the learning objective that's linked to that day. You'll have, or that week, you'll get the assignments that are due and the due date. And don't let this column confuse you. This is just the homework that you need to be doing this week, which will be due down here. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. So during week 1, these would be the things that you need to be doing. Sorry about that. And then those things would be due here, okay, in this week. And I am happy to answer, again, I'm super happy to answer questions via email or text. Just if you text, make sure I know who you are. Give me your name. And I think it's going to be a great semester. Thanks for watching.